What's up, you beautiful people? I'm your host, the Danger Dave, and welcome to my review of Cyberpunk 2077. Now, this is a game that's absolutely perfect to do a then and now series on. I review the game in the here and now, in the current time and space in which we are currently living in, and then in the future, if CD Projekt Red ever gets their fucking shit together, you know what I mean? I'll take a second look at it, see what's changed, and if I've changed my mind on anything. And who knows what the future or CD Projekt Red has in store for this game. But with all that out of the way, ladies and gentlemen, let's start the episode. One can't really talk about Cyberpunk without first talking about the elephant in the room, CD Projekt Red. Oh boy, did they ever trip on their shoelaces and splat face fucking first on the pavement with this one. Let me tell ya. Looking back on it, maybe we should have seen this coming. The Witcher 3 Wild Hunt released in a similar buggy mess. CD Projekt Red did fix the bugs and made it up to fans by releasing some awesome DLC. So they did redeem themselves, and I thought, okay, they fumbled here for sure. They know what they did wrong and will never let something like this happen ever again, am I right? Now, I always say be cautiously optimistic about new games. That way you're not left crushingly disappointed. Like how I felt in high school when I asked any girl out on a date. But goddamn, it was really hard not to be excited about this game. Blade Runner is one of my favorite movies of all time. And this seemed to be the perfect game to play out all my Blade Runner fanfiction fantasies. And with John Wick Silverhand himself starring in the game, it was hard not to be riding the hype train for Cyberpunk. Keanu Reeves' inclusion alone probably got the whole world to pre-order right then and there. Then, Cyberpunk released to this. And this. What the hell was that? Did you guys see that? I got, fucking launched all the way out here. What was that? There's still some bugs in the works. And a whole lot of this.
Biochip.
That is a gun, Jackie, not a biochip. You stuck a gun in my head, Jackie. What are you doing? Cyberpunk's disastrous half-baked launch not only left fans bitterly disappointed, but also left a big old black mark on CD Projekt Red's reputation. They've lost most, if not all, of their street cred, and if they release another game, gamers aren't going to be trusting them. They're going to be giving them the old side eye. They have to make sure their next game releases in a prime state, not a gonk one like Cyberpunk. Another Cyberpunk fiasco just might flatline CD Projekt Red. Before you burn this city to the ground, Samurai, you have a life path to choose. One of three: Nomad, Street Kid, or Corpo. All three of these paths involve V beginning a new life in Night City and meeting Jackie Wells, who becomes V's best chum in Night City, along with a netrunner named T-Bug. Each life path starts the game out completely different. However, once you finish the opening, the game plays out completely the same. Gotta say, missed opportunity here to have each life path be a completely different experience. That's what I was thinking these would be, but no. Once you arrive in Night City, the game plays out pretty much the same, albeit with some different dialogue, and in a few instances one can use it to your advantage, but honestly I found stuff like this to be few and far in between. Unless you're going for a specific build, it really doesn't matter which path you choose. With V arriving in Night City, she becomes best chums with Jackie Wells. The two have dreams of becoming legends in Night City.
Filthy rich legends.
Jackie lands them a sweet job from Dexter Deshawn, a famous fixer in Night City, that will make that dream become a reality. Dex's client, Evelyn Parker, wants a biochip called the Relic, stolen from the most powerful corpo in the city, Yorinobu Arasaka. V and Jackie successfully infiltrate Yorinobu's suite in Konpeki Plaza, where the relic is being held, and successfully retrieve it. Unfortunately, things turn up Millhouse when they witness the murder of the leader of the Arasaka Corporation, Saburo Arasaka, at the treacherous hands of his own son, Yorinobu. Man, talk about daddy issues, am I right? V and Jackie manage to escape the ensuing chaos in Konpeki Plaza, and are framed for the murder of Saburo Arasaka. Unfortunately, in their escape, T-Bug is killed and Jackie is fatally wounded, and the case that contains the biochip is critically damaged, which forces Jackie to plug the relic into his own head, as it must be kept in a safe environment to remain operational. After their escape, Jackie dies, but not before he puts the biochip in V's head. Now, Dex is furious with all the police attention the op has caused. He shoots V in the head and leaves her for dead in a landfill to cover his tracks. Normally, when you take lead to the head, you don't come back from that, you know what I mean? But, that's not what happens here. V awakens and manages to crawl her way out of the garbage. She doesn't get far, though, till she runs into Goro Takamura, former bodyguard to Saburo and current bodyguard to Yorinobu. Takamura executes Deshawn and proceeds to deliver V to Yorinobu. Fearing V could expose him as his father's murderer, he sends a hit squad after the two. V and Takamura manage to eliminate the assassins, but are in dire need of medical attention afterwards. After receiving medical attention from the Ripper Dog Victor, he explains that after Dex shot V in the head, the relic resurrected her. Normally, rising from the dead after some fat bastard shot you in the head would be a good day. Today, however, is not V's day. As Vic explains, the relic contains an engram of Johnny Silverhand, famous rocker boy of the band Samurai, and a man who detonated a mini thermonuclear bomb in Arasaka Tower in 2023. The biochip is also slowly killing V, and cannot be removed without killing her, who does not have long till Silverhand's engram takes over V's consciousness. Isn't that some shit? It saves your life only to slowly kill you in the process. That'd be like taking some heartburn meds before you eat something spicy, and then getting heartburn anyway, so, fuck my life, apparently. With Silverhand's engram stuck in her head, V can see and interact with Johnny's construct, who is willing to help V remove the relic if it also means Arasaka's destruction. V meets with Takamura, who asks her to testify Yorinobu's treachery to Saburo's heir, Hanako. There's also the matter of discovering a way to remove the relic and save V's life in the process, with two promising leads in Evelyn Parker and the relic's creator, Anders Hellman Mayo. Johnny suggests V look up the best fixer in Night City and his old gang member, Rogue, to find Hellman. Rogue informs V that Hellman wants to defect from Arasaka. With the help of Pan Am and the Aldecados, they locate Hellman. V interrogates him, but only learns that the relic is permanently stuck in her head, but does get the somatics to the relic. With the help of Mox Judy, V locates Evelyn and learns that the gang called the Voodoo Boys hired her to steal the relic, as they wanted Silverhand's engram. Meeting with their leader Placide, V enters cyberspace and meets with legendary netrunner Alt Cunningham, Johnny's former girlfriend. Alt informs V that they can remove the engram with something she created called Soul Killer, but will only work with the Makoshi system in Arasaka, a data fortress that digitally stores the mind of any target. Later, Goro and V try to convince Oda, Hanako's bodyguard of Yorinobu's betrayal, but he doesn't believe a goddamn word we say, forcing V and Goro to kidnap Hanako during a parade. V explains that it was her brother that murdered her father. Just then, Arasaka's soldiers storm the place. V manages to fight her way out, and Hanako arranges a meeting with V at Embers, which leads us to the end of the game. V must decide how to get to Mikoshi that's hidden underneath Arasaka Tower. The path I took was to allow Johnny to take control of V's body, and along with Rogue, assault Arasaka Tower, just like the good old days. There's a total of 7 endings you can get. No matter which ending you choose, V learns the damage the relic has caused her mind is irreversible, and only has a few months to live. If you trust Arasaka, where's my mind ending, you sign your soul away.
Or you take Arasaka's deal, but then you'll have your own soul on your conscience.
And agree to the Secure Your Soul program, allowing your mind to be digitally stored until your condition can be cured and placed into a new body. There's a suicide ending, which you should never do. Like, seriously, who the fuck chose this ending the first playthrough? We didn't go through all this shit the entire game just to take the easy way out. If I'm going out the way I came in, kicking and screaming and covered in somebody else's blood. You can either let Johnny have your body as V remains in cyberspace, New Dawn's Fade ending, which has Johnny say his final goodbyes to V and Rogue, now wiser from his time with V, and leaves Night City. Or V returns to her body and Johnny remains in cyberspace, Path of Glory ending, where V is queen of the afterlife and top dog in Night City. V agrees to work with a shady guy called Blue Eyes White Dragon. He gives V the gig to steal client data from a casino in space. In return, he will help V with her health. The solo ending is basically the same as the Path of Glory ending, only all characters are alive. You can ask Panam and the Aldecados for help all along the Watchtower ending, where V joins the Aldecados and leaves Night City. Now, most of these endings are kinda bittersweet. There really isn't a happy ending, so to speak, but my favorite one is the Panam ending. However, getting all these endings does add some replay value to the game, as getting all these endings was pretty fun. The story itself is... it's good. I'll give it a thumbs up. It's not going to be a life-altering event where you have to stop and contemplate life as you stare out a window good, but what it does very well. The colorful cast of interesting characters from Jackie to Silverhand to Panam and Rogue and Judy, the story's strongest part is these characters. It does have some great moments of action and emotional moments that I'd say it's worth a look. Okay, let's jack into the gameplay. Now, before you start your adventure, you need to customize your very own V. You can be male, female, mix and match certain body parts, with plenty of options for hair, skin, eye color and type, body tattoos, scars. Get ready to spend hours here customizing V to your liking, as is the norm with creating any character in video games. I chose the female V as... okay, I don't know, but maybe it's just me, but am I the only one who doesn't like the male V voice? It's nothing against his voice actor, but when I hear it, I just go, yeah, I don't like it. I mean, I'm one to talk. People ask me all the time why my voice is so annoying. It sounds more like he's doing an impression. I don't know. It's not a big deal or anything. I personally like the female voice better. It just sounds right, you know what I mean? Cyberpunk is an open-world RPG, first-person style shooter that allows you to fully customize V to suit your playstyle. From looks and clothing and weapons, to skill upgrades focus on things such as hacking, crafting, certain types of weapons. The perks will be unlocked by using Street Cred and XP. You can spend these in 5 attributes: body, reflexes, technical ability, intelligence, and cool. Each attribute focuses on a different gameplay attribute, such as the cool attribute is all about stealth upgrades. There's a ton of variety here to complement any playstyle, from stealth players remaining undetected, killing or incapacitating mooks and hiding their carcass in bins, to motherfuckers who just want to kick down the door and hose down the room with lead, or melee players who just want to smash somebody's face in with a fucking hammer. Maybe you prefer sniping or hacking. Having multiple ways to play the game that gives you a different experience each time is something I do appreciate. As for guns...
Guns. Lots of guns.
Cyberpunk has an impressive arsenal of firearms and grenades that can be looted or bought, from traditional lead spitters to power weapons that bounce bullets all over the fucking place. Tech weapons that home in on targets or charge up for a devastating blast.
Want a charge shot?
That can penetrate through cover, attaching scopes and suppressors to certain guns, as well as attaching mods that can give a gun a boost in firepower or turn it into a less than lethal weapon. To melee weapons like swords and hammers. These weapons can even deal elemental damage like poison, incendiary, electrical damage. You can even craft new weapons called iconic weapons. You do need a certain number of crafting parts to create one, but you can craft some really powerful weapons. However, it's not totally necessary because I found you can comfortably beat the game just by looting what you find, but the option is there. You can purchase cyberware from rubber docks, surgeons that install all the shiny cyberware a merc could ever want. You can enhance V with a variety of weapons like mantis blades, to operating systems, a downright essential double jump, titanium bones, so you can be the ultimate hoarder of shit. Mixing and matching cyberware, weapons, skills, and perks keeps the game fresh and gives you a multitude of possibilities on how to play the game. Armor is represented by the variety of clothing you can loot and just... Good God, most of the clothes in this game are fucking hideous. Some of them do look cool, most of them are vomit-inducing. Like, why couldn't they make this stuff look cool, you know what I mean? Just like weapons, you can craft and upgrade iconic clothes for better stats, but again, most of the stuff you'll find will get you to the end of the game pretty comfortably. Now, all this gear will have certain stat requirements to use, like street cred of 35 or technical ability of 40, so it's worth doing side missions to upgrade your levels and stats. Gigs from fixers that hire you to steal something, or ice someone, or sabotage a target, to Assault in Progress and Cyber Psychos. There are many times the controller was just glued to my hand because I was having so much fun playing the game. With a city as big as Night City, you're gonna need some wheels to get around. The city is your dealership, and you just have to choose one. From bikes, trucks, cars, sports cars, and muscle cars. The driving still could be better, though. It's definitely better than what it was, don't get me wrong. It just feels like you have control, but not enough control. You know what I mean? Also, a source of constant frustration for me is I'm always missing turns. I don't know. Maybe it's just my shit driving, but is it just me, or is it caused by the minimap being so zoomed in? Like, damn, GTA got this right years ago, so what's your excuse, CD Projekt Red? Why do you hate us? Night City has the look and feel of all the shit I love in a cyberpunk world. The mega city, drenched in night, fog hanging heavy in the air, neon lights shining off the rain-soaked streets. It has a fantastic atmosphere and feel to it. If you get tired of the seedy streets, you can drive into the dusty Badlands for some fresh air. All the districts in Night City have a distinct look and feel to it, so the environment is constantly changing. I find myself finding new little details I haven't noticed before. I had a blast tearing through the streets and exploring every inch of the city because you never know what you're going to find around every corner or rooftop. Graphically speaking, the game looks fantastic. When it's not glitching the fuck out, You should definitely not play this on base PlayStation 4s and Xboxes. Just don't subject your eyes to that torture. This game is definitely a PlayStation 5, Xbox Series X, and a PC kind of game. Or I'm rocking a 1650 over here. Because the struggle to find new graphics cards is still too damn real. However, it runs Cyberpunk just fine. I don't get crazy FPS or anything, and I did run into my share of glitches, but even people rocking top-of-the-line rigs have something to complain about this game performance-wise, which I feel should never happen. Now, with all of this, how do I feel about Cyberpunk 2077? And honestly, it doesn't get the Danger Dave seal of approval. Not yet, at least. Maybe that'll change in the future, but as far as right now, I can't recommend it. It just seems like there's no future for this game. CD Projekt Red just seem to be dragging their feet on fixing Cyberpunk, and by the time they do fix it, it just might be too little too late. The last patch removed, a lot of NPCs to get the game to run better. Night City feels like a ghost town now, but honestly, at least they fixed those rocks in the Badlands, you know what I mean? Just holy shit, it was just gonna be hell have no fury from the fans if they didn't fix those fucking rocks, so... Good job, CD Projekt Red. You fixed the biggest issue in the game, which was the rocks in the Badlands. Who the fuck was complaining about the rocks in the Badlands? Nobody, that's who. Honestly, I just give this game a 6 out of 10. Only an extra point because I found myself enjoying the gameplay and the cast of characters Night City has to offer. Honestly, soundtrack-wise, I didn't really find myself really liking any of this stuff, nothing really caught my ear. In fact, the only music that I really do like from Cyberpunk is the samurai stuff, which is really good stuff. Honestly, all the songs from them, from Never Fades Away, Chippin' In, is great stuff. I enjoyed listening to that. Now, I don't want to be so cynical as to say there's no future for this game, but you want to know the thing that really just boils my piss the most? Is that you see a good game in here. You see the potential it has, and I loathe seeing wasted potential in my video games. And with the CEO of CD Projekt Red saying that Cyberpunk is in a satisfactory condition... Yeah, whatever you say, buddy. Seriously, is anybody really satisfied with the state that Cyberpunk is in right now? I mean, really, man, you must be blind, delusional, or disconnected, or just don't give a fuck. It's just getting really hard to see a future where Cyberpunk has realized its full potential. And with that, ladies and gentlemen, that's my thoughts on Cyberpunk 2077 as of right now. If you'd like to tell me what you think of Cyberpunk in the comments below, let me know. And as always, if you like this episode, you know what you gotta do. I love you guys, and I'll see you next episode.